Hey guys, I have another journal to share with you, and this is a custom order journal. I made two journals for this order, one spring one, spring themed, and I will leave the link to the flip through of the spring journal below because I've already flipped through it, and this is the October autumn one. So it was requested that the journal will be based on Edith Holden books, on her artwork, so I've used a lot of this in this journal. So this is how the cover looks. It's completely made by me. It's not a repurposed book. I made it with a thick book board. So this is how it looks. The closure is sari silk. And this is how the cover looks. It's hand painted. This part here is raised, and in this sort of window there is this beautiful image from Edith Holden. I have a book plate here, metal corners. The spine is round. I used a lot of Inca gold to kind of accent the edges, and also some darker paint on the spine. And on the edges here, the back is plain, like this. Okay, so this journal is 3 signatures, over 150 pages, plus a load of additional journaling space. So let's see inside here. And I used let me show you, a hollow spine binding so that the journal lays completely flat, even though it's quite chunky. And yeah, so it looks like this. The signatures are sewn to a piece of calico. I have a pretty scrapbook paper as end paper, and it starts with a page from Edith Holden. As I said, it was supposed to be an autumn-October theme, so that's why I started with a title page like this. And this is a flip inspired by Wendy from Wendy's Journaling Adventures, and it flips like this. So inside here there is another book page from Edith Holden, some collaging with a label, and this is like a title page from the book. So we have the Nature Notes, 1906, Edith B. Holden, and a little notebook sewn to this paper for some notes. Okay, and then when we turn, here I have a charm from Tim Holtz, and it says Inspire, and this is what I called this journal. I called it Inspire because that's what I associate with autumn. You know, after summer, after we've rested, hopefully we have all new energy to just start working, to be inspired. And also, I mean, autumn with all her colors, it's just so inspiring. So this is actually a closure, and when we open it up, we have the other part of the flip. So there is a pocket here with a journaling or divider card. There is a charm, leaf charm. It's quite sturdy. It's backed on tea-stained cardstock, so it's like a divider card, I guess, and there's a label. Okay, and here in this Tim Holtz die frame, I have some die cut wildflowers, so you can use them to decorate the pages wherever you want, or for collages like here. This one's actually glued down with some other bits and pieces as a decoration. So for this journal I chose this gorgeous collection or digital kit from ArtyMaze. It's Patchwork Botanicals, and I don't think it was meant to be autumn, but it's so stunning, and all the colors in this kit I associate with like October. So the the gold and red and brown, even the turquoise and pink I associate with like dawn in October or sunset. So it's just beautiful. Okay, and here this is my take on Gina from the Firefly Studio. She made a altered envelope like this in our 5 on a dime challenge, and so I decorated the front. There is a window here, some words, some die cuts, etc. And this is a pocket, side pocket here. So you can see that in the back there is some Edith Holden paper, so even if there is nothing in the window, it's not like blank. And I put a journaling, quite a big journaling card inside of this pocket. So you can see there's a lot going on here: collaging, stitching, die cuts, some flowers cut, fussy cut from books, and the beautiful paper from My Porch Prints in the background. And it's backed with brown recycled paper, so there's a lot of space for journaling here. Okay, and then this whole thing flips up. So let me show you. This is a beautiful linen printable from Living Life Creatively on Etsy, and it also flips. And there is a journaling space, a little bit of collaging, some old text here, and then this part is decorated. So I have a miniature tag, I have some collage papers from Living Life Creatively, a label from Roxy Creations, and again this is a side pocket, so I have a tag here. Again, this is a tag that I made with some fussy cut flowers, just a piece of Edith Holden which says the first to blossom, some cheesecloth, and in the back again the recycled paper for writing. And this whole thing flips again. And here I have a little collage and this little space for journaling. Like this, and because it flips, there is a whole page underneath to journal on. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and Gina, thank you again for sharing this, and this is so inspiring. Okay, so we have a tea stained doily, a piece of fabric, or almost all the pieces of fabric that I have here are vintage Indian fabrics that I have in my stash. So it's beautiful, beautiful colors, and it flips. And there is a journaling space with some stamping. All the papers have been tea stained. A pocket here with a label, book page pocket. And inside I put this little tag that I made with Tracy Fox's faux tea card, and this is a piece from ArtyMaze's kit, this little cute mason jar, and there's a place for journaling inside. There's stamping here too. I have a lot of vintage book pages, and again this vintage sari fabric sewn as a tab. This was just plain text on this page here, so I've attached this piece of recycled paper with some stamping so you can journal here. This is eco-dyed paper from ArtyMaze, and I printed it on my tea stain paper, so it's a bit grungy and looks very pretty. I love it. A little piece of trim here. Then this is a bookmark from Mrs. Cog. I've sewn some vintage crocheted lace here, and there are some pieces of ephemera from the old design shop for some more writing space here. Beautiful page from the kit, and a sari silk sewn here on the side. And on the other sides of the pages from from the kit, I printed ArtyMaze's tea or coffee, I don't remember, but she has like a tea or coffee stained paper pack, digital paper pack. So they are very pretty and they look really authentic. Little collage here. This page is from an antique book. I have a dictionary of gardening, and I just picked a page with some mushrooms. I tea stained it, but you can really feel the how old this paper is, so it's gorgeous. Edith Holden book page. This is vintage ledger paper, and I've done some stamping here, and there is a quote from Edith Holden, "Then came October, full of merry glee," which is so fitting for this journal, and just some cheesecloth in the background. A little collage, and this flips for more space. This is a page from Nick the Booksmith, and then I printed it on parchment paper. A grungy coffee-stained vintage book page with some mushrooms. Edith Holden, and then this is the middle of the first signature. So I tied both in the middle of the signatures, but these strings are very secure, so they can be cut off. So these are two pockets made out of Edith Holden book page. I've done some edge punching. There is a label here, and in this eyelet, a little charm. Leaf charm, hope you can see. And in these pockets I have a tag that I made again with Tracy Fox's tea card, and then this is like a journaling card from ArtyMaze, and I just decorated it a little bit with some die cuts, labels with the word cut out. Then on the back some washi tape, and again a die cut, and inside there is a place for journaling and this beautiful tea card. Okay, the other side of the mushroom book page, and the other side of the printed parchment paper. Here on this ledger paper I have an envelope clipped with a paper clip. This envelope is from ArtyMaze, and I just kind of decorated it a little bit. So I've added this cluster from this beautiful trim and some vintage lace and fabric, and this is what it looks on the back, again decorated by me with die cuts, with some words, label. This is a faux stamp that I made from Tracy Fox's tiny embellishments, I think, and I've stamped a little bit here. And when you open this up, there is a tag spot here, so I've just tucked this gorgeous ticket from ArtyMaze. It's torn on the edges here and inked up, and inside of this I have some ephemera from ArtyMaze, so a journaling card, and this like a double tag, so you have tags on the other side and you can open them up like this and journal inside. Right, Edith Holden, the other side of the Dictionary of Gardening. This is Fussy Cut from Edith Holden, and I used it as a tag spot. There's some sari silk sewn here, and I've just tagged this gorgeous vintage postcard printable from my Porch Prints. I printed all those vintage ephemera pieces on tea stained paper, so it's nice and grungy, and you can journal on the back. Okay, so here is this beautiful page from the kit, and this is inspired by Gibitniri. So these are lines that I've sewn on my machine, and I've sewn with them some bits and pieces, some saris, some scraps of papers, some scraps from Edith Holden. This one says October 1st, warm bright day. And this piece is from Mrs. Cog. Beautiful image, and again journaling space on the back as well. A vintage book page with a fabric trim and some beads on a ball pin. stenciling and just a label on this lined paper. This is an altered CD case, which is a double pocket. So I have some decoration here. We have this like frame. This is from Edith Holden, and then inside there is a pocket, and the so like the circle part of the image is glued behind the acetate here, so you can tuck something in here and it will be visible through there. I have a charm here in a little eyelet, and this is a pocket in the back here as well, and I have a vintage postcard here, which is, I think, maybe from the, okay, 73, but it's just beautiful and very autumny, I guess. Okay, more pages from the kit, scrapbook paper, and each signature ends with a collage where I've collaged some bits and pieces from the kit, from Edith Holden, some washi tape, some spaces for journaling. So just, I think it looks pretty. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is the start of the second signature. We have some sari silk here on this full page Edith Holden image, and this is a pocket, and inside the pocket I've added another book page that can be used in the journal or, you know, wherever. So this is from September, so still kind of staying in this autumn theme. Then this, I just love this spread. I mean, the colors are gorgeous. So on this side there is a pocket with some mushrooms. This is autumn here, and there is a long, like a tag or a bookmark from Edith Holden. It's backed with recycled paper, and I have a stamp. Will this focus? A stamp here. This can be used for journaling. This can be used as a bookmark. And on this side, stunning page from the kit, and I did not want to do anything to it, so I just sewn a little bit of sari on the side. A bit of collage. Then this again is inspired by Gibbet. This is like messy stitching with some sari silk in between, just a decoration. On this page there's a lot of stenciling and stamping. Then I have a vintage book page with some lace and some vintage sari fabric, a charm. I don't know if you can see this, but there is a charm, a bead. Then this is a tuck spot, and in this I have another cute mason jar from ArtyMaze. It's beautiful turquoise color. This here is a little collage that I made with bits and pieces from ArtyMaze. So the vintage label, the butterfly, the like the banner, they are from ArtyMaze, from different. I think the butterflies are from her freebies on her website or on her Facebook group. And there's sari, cheesecloth, music paper. Again, a tea stain doily. Then here another, like a title October page from Edith Holden, a sewn label, beautiful image, and this flips like this. Some lace sewn on here on the edge, and just a beautiful image. Then there is some notebook paper, which is again tea stained, and some stenciling. This stunning page from the kit with a poem about autumn from Edith Holden, backed with some cheesecloth and some scrap paper. And then this is a card from ArtyMaze from the kit, and I made it as a tag spot, and I tagged another piece of vintage ephemera printed on tea stain paper. Another page from Dictionary of Gardening. This is a paperback. I collaged here some elements from ArtyMaze and from my box, vintage box. And inside another piece of ephemera. So lots of like additional ephemera where you can write, you can move it around and whatnot. Some collaging, stamping, a gorgeous piece of fabric. I don't know if you can see, but it's gold, it's shimmery, it's really pretty. Eco-dyed paper from ArtyMaze and a stunning page from the kit. And this is the middle of the second signature. And what I've done here is I took this image from Edith Holden, I cut it in half and I glued it to this page so that it flips. So we have all this journaling space and yet this beautiful image here. Just a label, lots of labels here, some washi tape and vintage music paper, stamping and stenciling. The other side of the paperback, again collaged some elements from ArtyMaze, and inside I've added this tiny tag that I made with again some images from books, some music paper, cheesecloth. And it's backed with tea stain paper for journaling. Not much place for journaling on this tiny tag, but still vintage or antique book page. Then this thing here, it's not attached. You can take this out, and this is inspired by Wendy again. I have a video on how I make these. So this is basically like a 2-envelope flip. So we have this gorgeous collage. I mean, gorgeous. The mushroom is gorgeous. It's from Edith Holden. Some beautiful collaged paper on the back. Then you can turn it and you have some journaling space. But then if you flip it, then there's another collage here. There's some Edith Holden images and some more journaling space on the back. And what's more, these are actually 2 side pockets. So I have 2 journaling cards here. This one of toadstools and some label backed with tea stain paper, and the second one, another image from Edith Holden, another label, some washi tape, tab, and again backed with cool tea stain paper. I love how this tea staining turned out. Alright. Notebook paper, the other side of the Edith Holden, stunning illustration from November. Okay, and then here I have 3 teeny tiny envelopes that I made from scrapbook paper and Edith Holden book page, and each of the envelopes has some ephemera in it. So in this one we have this cute ticket strip from ArtyMaze from her kits. Then in the second envelope there is some banners that can be used to decorate pages or journaling cards. And in the third one I have another ticket strip, horizontal this time, and look how gorgeous these are. Okay. There is a lace tab here and a bead on a ball pin. How pretty is this? Stenciling, and this is a beautiful bookmark from Mrs. Cog that I've sewn directly to the page. An acetate pocket here with a journaling card made of this beautiful book page, backed with tea stained paper again, so you can journal here. You can use this pocket for anything, photos, for tucking your ephemera, and I just love how it looks with the window. I like the stitching on the other sides of my pages, so I've left it. I didn't do anything to it. And this is the end of the second signature. Again, a collage. We have a poem to autumn, some scraps, some washi tape, some journaling space here and there. And the third signature is again a whole page Edith Holden image, but on it I glued or sewn actually this piece of vellum. So I've added, I've stitched, machine stitched some lines here, so you can write on it. There's a label, die-cut mushroom, and then when you write on it, you know, you still have the whole page below it intact to look at, to admire, because it's very, very pretty. And yeah, and I just think that journaling over a page like this would look so pretty. Okay, little collage here, again a standing page from the kit, and some sari silk sewn here. This is a little pocket from the kit with a butterfly and a label, some sari silk, and I have another journaling card. This was again a part of the kit, but I kind of made it a little bit more mine with some die cuts, some words, a label, again some cheesecloth, little bits and pieces, and inside there's a journaling space. This gorgeous brown colored paper is a paper I dyed with fabric dye, and I just thought it was perfect for autumn. So I've stamped on it, I stenciled. It's not very visible, probably you can't see it very well, but it's there. And there is this trim that I've sewn. This is again vintage sari, and on the back of this, this again I think is one of my favorite spreads from this journal. So I fussy cut some leaves from Edith Holden. There's some stamping, and I have this gorgeous book page. This is from another book, which is like a journal, nature diary sort of thing. So we have October here, we have a poem in this beautiful handwriting, and to it I attached another envelope. This is like a coin pocket, so on the flap I added this cluster from beautiful fabrics and cheesecloth, and this is what it looks on the other side. I did not do anything to the side because it's just so gorgeous. And inside we have another tag that I made from these faux tea-stained cards. Tea cards, sorry. Okay, so it's October here as well. A lot of space for journaling. Another bookmark from Mrs. Cog, and another pretty ephemera piece from the old design shop. This is vintage letter paper. Some stamping here, a little cluster with some scraps of paper and this beautiful trim sewn to the page. These are cute, tiny vintage book pages. I've tea-stained them, and they have these beautiful tabs from ArtyMaze. So I mean, the colors of the flowers are just so perfectly autumn. And then this is another page from Nick the Booksmith, and I've printed this on vellum this time, and just a trim sewn here. Another little collage. This is October. This is from Edith Holden, and the other elements are from ArtyMaze, and I added some cheesecloth as well. This here, this is fussy cut from Edith Holden, and I used it as a tag spot. So we have some pieces of ephemera. This is from the old design shop again, and this is a gorgeous journaling card from ArtyMaze. Right, and then this is a handmade paper card that I had in my stash for a very long time, and I decided to add it here because I love the petals. Like, they are kind of yellow, gold, brown colors, and also this rose, just very, I think it's very fitting for this journal. I added this tab here, but it's just a beautiful paper, and I love like the texture of it. In the middle of the signature is an Edith Holden book page, a stunning book page. I did not do anything to it because it's so beautiful. I just added a little bit of this brown washi tape, some interest, but nothing beyond that. On the other side, where there was text, I used white gesso, so you can write over it, and yet you will still see like the original text. There's little collage here, says fall. The other side of this beautiful handmade paper card. How stunning are these petals? This is a ticket from ArtyMaze, which I used as a little embellishment here. The other side of the printed vellum, and the other side of the tiny book pages. Again, a leaf, fussy cut from Edith Holden, and some stamping on this page. Eco-dyed paper from ArtyMaze, vintage ledger, and just some sari silk sewn here. The other side of the beautiful book page, and this stunning piece is from a vintage sari, and it's, I mean, I have to show you guys. Look how gorgeous this is, how rich with the beads, with the colors. I mean, it's so stunning, and I've sewn it to this page as a flip, and it's just, I mean, oh. There is just a whole page for journaling. This is the fabric dyed paper, and then it comes down like this. Again, stamping, stenciling here. Beautiful page. Then here there is a scrappy notebook sort of thing. So I love these kind of scrappy notebooks because they are perfect when you need just a piece of paper to tear and just jot something down, or maybe you can use them for collaging, or just use them as they are, as a notebook. They are very versatile, I think. And this is the end. So this is the last collage with some Edith Holden, the gorgeous card from ArtyMaze, some washi tape, and this beautiful scrapbook paper as an end paper. And I have an eyelet here on the back cover to hold the closure. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my customer will enjoy this journal, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.